When a Mazal Tov to the Scott family and to everyone, all the friends and family who are here. When a baby is entered into a covenant, into the brit shel Avraham Avinu, so very often the brit happens, and then right away the naming, and it all happens so quickly. And then you afterwards process it. Did we give him a name? I don't remember. What did we name him? So we had a few minutes between his brit and his naming now. So we'll be able to really focus in on the name that Gabe and Mirav have chosen to give their new son. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kidashti bebetim b'chol b'sher osam b'tzetzav chatam bod brit kodesh al ken b'schazot el chai chelkeinu tzurenu tzabel etzil yidrav sheinu mishach laman brito asher sam b'vsorenu. Baruch atah Adonai borei habrit. Eloheinu v'elei avotenu kayem et hayod hazeh la'aviv u'l'imo v'yikare shemo b'Yisrael.
Ilai Ze'ev.
Ilai Ze'ev ben Gabriel Pesach v'Meirav Yoni. Yismach Again, moment for you now. Kagatu bismach avicha v'emecha v'tzavir l'techa v'nemar v'morlech v'yarech v'v'seset b'damayich v'morlach v'damayich chayim v'morlach v'damayich chayim v'nemar zachatu l'chtot l'vartzi v'avdor asher karat l'Avraham u'shput l'Yitzchak Yamidel Yaakov l'chol Yisrael brit olam v'ne'amar v'yemal Avraham et Yitzchak v'no ben shmonat b'yameim kasher tzivato Elohim hodi l'Adonai ki tov ki am chazdo hodi l'Adonai ki l'elam chazdo. Ilai Ze'ev זה הקטן הגדול יהיה, כשם שנכנס לברית, כן ייכנס לתורה לחופה, ולמעשים הטובים, ונאמר ומי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב, משה דוד ושלמה, יברך את הילד הרב חנימול, אילי זאב בן גבריאל פסח ומירב יונית, בעבור שנכנס לברית וכל הקו מברכין אותו, וכשם שנכנס לברית, כן ייכנס לתורה לחופה, ולמעשים הטובים, ונאמר אמן. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov. Yehelanu, 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 kol Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, kol Yisrael.
Not always the biggest on giving speeches. I didn't really know how I would come about to really talk about this. But Thursday when we got home, I was trying to go to sleep. I was really tired. And I found myself just like thinking and not falling asleep at all, wide awake suddenly. And I started just writing in my head what just a few notes that I wanted to say. So I got up and started read out a whole thing, which was about it. Before I start with what I wrote, I was thinking about it, and I realized that there were a lot of different dates that he would share around his due date, and it's very special that the brit is today, because it's your anniversary. 35 years.
Wow.
So happy anniversary. I'll start with a little drop of Judaism. This week's Parsha, Vayishlach, has a lot of dark stuff in it. Jacob tries to reconcile with his brother Esav. Esav's like, nah, I'm gonna send an army. Jacob preps for war, prays, and then attempts to send a gift as an appeal to Esav to try and avoid bloodshed while sending his family and possessions away. He stays back and then gets into it with the divine spirit of Esav, comes out alive after a whole night of fighting and tussle, suffering just a dislocated hip, which kind of reminds me of this little one here has got a bit of a hip problem. He then gets the name Yisrael because, he's like badass. Esav's like, damn, how'd you do that? They make up, Jacob moves to Shechem, and then there's a lot more dark stuff, some murder. He moves onwards. Rachel dies giving birth, and then arrive in Hebron after Rebecca dies as well to his father Isaac. After I read this myself, I said, how the heck am I going to connect this to the miracle of birth? So here we go. In some manner, part of this parsha kind of makes me think of the birth itself. Fighting a divine spirit, coming out on top. No other thing than birth connects to this. The absolute heroics of a woman's pregnancy and giving birth, growing it, carrying it, birthing it, feeding it, and recovering fully afterwards is something that me and I think all men will never begin to comprehend. The process of the birth itself is something that has renewed and immensely strengthened my admiration for mothers, and especially my wonderful wife Mirav, to go through that whole experience and to completely recover from it and then even do it again in many cases. It's incredible.
To talk about that.
I want to say that most of you know that I've been ready to be a father for a while by now. Now that our son is finally here, I know that it was true. It's definitely hard, but I know that we can do this. I'm so excited and in awe by Merav for the mother she already is, the one she will be, and the parents that together we'll strive to be, making our home into a loving, compassionate surrounding to sculpt this little peanut into a responsible, considerate grown man. I know that's years away from now. On to the matter at hand. The baby, our son, the name we chose, we cycled through thousands of names and always came back to the same one. Why Ilai? Because we connected most to it out of all the other names we floated around. We kept coming back to it all the time. It's versatile. It works in Hebrew and English, which is important. It means strength, greatness, which is a wonderful name for the first grandchild of this tribe. This doesn't mean we have expectations of you to be perfect. It means we always wish for you to give everything you decide to do in your life, you're 100%. Do your best, and we will be here to support you every step of the way. If you fall, we'll be there to pick you back up. As for his middle name, Ilai Ze'ev, we had a few people in mind that we wanted to name our child after. Merav's cousin Marla. There's my grandmother who died earlier this year, and there's Brian's father who died years ago in 2009. His name in Hebrew was Tzvi Zev Chaim. There are no other grandchildren on the Blum side, so we wanted to honor Brian's father and Eli's great-grandfather and name our first child after him. Zev is a beautiful symbol of a strong animal that runs in packs, community. Merav and I take community and friendship very seriously. We feel that it is an important part in any person's life to have a community and people to surround themselves by. We have an unbelievable pack of friends and family that surround us, and we wish for Ilai Ze'ev to grow with the same kind of support system that we are so lucky to have. We are absolutely overjoyed to bring the first grandchild on both sides into this amazing family. Thanks in advance to Amir, Aviv, Brian, Jody, Natan, mom and dad, and of course Akiva for this, and Yam, for this, where was I? For the incredible love and support to help us start our family and get through the first weeks of life with the child and beyond. Thanks everyone for coming. We love you.
We love you.
Wait, one more thing, and then you get to like.
Wait, I think Jody also wants to.
Oh, I apologize. No, you also or no?
No.
Yeah. No. We didn't ask in advance what our timing was. And then of course we can. It's like amazing. We're all kind of crowded together, but yet we feel good. That really feels happy. We have outside too. So if you're a brave person, it's lovely outside today. I wanted to just say that. So why don't you go? So I'm saying, or do you want to? Should we start and then take a break? What do you want to do?
I'm happy to do it now. While everybody's
Speeches are all right. Very good. So you go as the grandfather.
We have everyone gathered.
As
Let's
the Blum family, and then we'll.
talk.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
my
just
voice
was like-
on the microphone. Okay. Hi guys. If I were to tell you that I fell in love with Ilai Ze'ev, the first minute I met him, you would say that that was a cliche. And you would be right, but sometimes cliches are true. There is something about a newborn that is hard to resist, even when that newborn is your first grandson and your daughter and son-in-law's first child. It is hard to describe exactly the feeling that Jody and I have been going through, because we don't really know him yet. He hasn't expressed a strong personality. It's not his witty jokes, his seamless repartee, his physical actions that led to this love affair that we already have. It's more of a visceral, subconscious feeling that seeps over you with an intensity that is different than even having your own children. It's amazing. But even that doesn't entirely explain this love that we're feeling. Is it his sweet baby smell? Is it those little baby noises he makes that are so adorable until they turn into screams and cries? Is it his lips? He has the most beautiful, amazing lips. You have to look at his lips. They are perfect. Or his skin. His skin is so soft. Oh my God. I mean, like it's brand new and it's like you just fall in love. You touch the skin, you hear his noises, you're in love. Or is it simply the fact that Mirav worked so hard to carry him, to nurture him inside of her, to grow him for almost 40 weeks with all his toes and his fingers and his body parts, and now to take care of his every need for the rest of his life. Listen, you guys know I'm not a particularly religious person, but the first thing I thought when I saw him was, oh my God, this is a miracle. I don't know what that means, but that's what I thought. Now, his middle name is Ze'ev, as we just heard, named after my father who passed away almost 13 years ago in 2009. And I am so thrilled and so delighted that his name will be continuing on thanks to Mirav and Gabe and Ilai Ze'ev. Just a little bit about my father, and I won't take much time, but his name was English was Walter. His Hebrew name was Tzvi Zev Chaim. His parents added Chaim when he contracted polio at age 17. He survived, and they were told that by adding a third name like Chaim, that would be like a good omen or something. And so, now he was never able to play ball with us or do a lot of the things that he might have wanted to do. And he was a very sportivy person before they loved soccer and sports. And I hope that Ilai Ze'ev will enjoy all of those things as well. But one of the things that he loved to do was to read to his children and his grandchildren. And he would just sit there and read and read and read. He won't be able to do that with this guy, but I'll take up the mantle. And I will read to them. Mirav and Gabe, one last thing to you before you take him away. You have brought an incredible gift into the world. Another human being who will be so loved and appreciated and enjoyed by all his relatives and all his tribe and all your friends and our friends. You are going to be incredible parents. No, you are already incredible parents. I've seen it. I've seen it. And we are so happy to you. Safta and I, I'm still getting used to that. Safta and I are so happy to be joining this little guy into our world. And take him and go for me, nurse him, he's crying. Mazel tov to everybody, that's my speech.